Happy holidays, college football fans, and welcome to the final 2011 episode of TJ's College Football M-Vlog. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Hope you had a great holiday with family and friends, whoever you're with right now. Hope you're enjoying the bowl season, or at least this semblance of bowl season that we have here with your pizza bowls and your fight hunger bowls, and there are too many bowls, honestly. Like, I have a hard time keeping up with all of these, but this is a subject for another matter. We're going to get into Contender and Pretender for the last few weeks, so let's jump right into our show. Our contender is kind of a gimme putt, and he's won at least once before this year, but there's no way we can give this guy enough recognition for his season. This week's contender is Robert Griffin III, quarterback at Baylor. In the last couple of weeks, Robert Griffin III has become Baylor's first Heisman winner, bringing home the trophy for just an incredible year, not only for himself but also for Baylor, going 9-3. Probably the best Baylor team in just many, many years. Griffin's stats, just some numbers to throw at you. 192.3 passer rating for the year, unbelievable. 36 passing touchdowns with 6 interceptions. That's deadly accurate. 644 rushing yards and 9 rushing TDs. I mean, the guy can do it with his feet or with his arm. You have to get to know Robert Griffin III, at least as far as we can get to know him as fans. Robert Griffin III, just incredibly smart, incredibly sharp guy, has already finished his undergrad degree at Baylor, working on his master's while mastering the game of football right now. And his Heisman speech was just incredible. Just very humble, very thankful to God, his creator, very thankful to Baylor University, to his parents. This is the kind of guy you like to see succeed, and who just succeeds the right ways. Really exemplifies just all the things that make college football awesome. So great job, RG3. This week's Pretender, the Sugar Bowl. And I know it's hard to give it to, it's obviously not just the bowl itself. There have been some great Sugar Bowls over the years. It's the people who are running the Sugar Bowl that are just pretending on us. So last year, let's zip back to 2010-2011. Ohio State versus Arkansas, great matchup. Ohio State has 5 players out for NCAA violations. All of you who keep up with college football probably remember this. They sold some of their memorabilia, some of their trophies, some other things to get tattoos from a local tattoo parlor. You can't do that. They were suspended for the game, and for the beginning of this season, the Sugar Bowl petitioned the NCAA to have their suspension lifted for only the bowl game. And the unbelievable part is the NCAA actually allowed the request, and these players were allowed to play. The Sugar Bowl cited that they were doing it for the integrity of the game. Okay, fine. Well, later all players were suspended. Their suspensions were upheld for the next season. Terrell Pryor, the quarterback, leaves college and goes into the NFL draft. And, Coach Jim Tressel is fired because he knew about the whole thing and covered it up. So that's how you preserve the integrity of the game. You have a very interesting definition of integrity. It is not the same as my own, suffice to say. This year is just a little different because, and my apologies to any Virginia Tech fans or Michigan fans who are watching this. I think you have very good teams, but these are not 2 teams who should be in a BCS Bowl. I firmly believe that. The reasoning given for choosing these teams to go to the BCS were that they have a big fan base, they probably sell a lot of tickets, integrity of the game, we want a lot of people at our game. Well, that's fine, except both teams didn't sell, I think, a majority of their tickets. So not only is this going to be a mostly empty BCS bowl game, you're not even really getting the best teams you could have gotten. There are plenty of good teams that deserved a BCS spot a lot more than either of these teams did. Arkansas, Michigan State, who just barely lost to Wisconsin in a great Big Ten championship game. Boise State, who really proved in their bowl game that they needed to be playing a much better team than, gosh, I don't even remember who they were playing. It wasn't even that important. It was that big of a blowout. Or even Kansas State having a great year in the Big 12 there. But Virginia Tech just, I don't know how you can be an 11-2 and just be so bad. Clemson just absolutely unveiled Virginia Tech, it's defensively and offensively. And then Michigan, I understand Michigan wins 10 games and maybe they're back. If you look at Michigan, some of the teams I mentioned beat Michigan. Michigan State beat Michigan. Let's just jump into some of the bowl games that are coming up. Some of the best ones are coming right up. We have two hometown teams in very good bowl games. Let's look at the Capital One Bowl. Number 10, South Carolina versus number 21, Nebraska. Both of these teams are going to feel like they're looking in a mirror. Just very similar style offenses, mobile quarterback, lots of running, passing when you need to, and tough defense. When it comes down to it, it's going to be decided by coaching and just the quality of athletes that get out there. And it's my bias coming out, but it's also some proven fact that SEC athletes just match up better against other athletes. It's the speed, or it's something in the water, or something, I don't know. But I like South Carolina's speed to be just a constant problem for Nebraska. I like South Carolina's offense to continue doing just what it does. I like South Carolina to win this in a fairly low-scoring game. Just a good old slug-out kind of game. Let's shift over from Orlando to Tampa in the Outback Bowl. A game I'm really interested in, a game that has BCS kind of quality to it. Number 16, Georgia versus number 12, Michigan State. If you've been watching this, you know I'm a bit of a homer for Michigan State. I like Mark D'Antonio. I like their quarterback, Kirk Cousins. I like what they do. I like their comeback wins, everything about them. Now, Georgia. Georgia's a bit overrated, in my opinion. They 10-2, made it to the SEC Championship, and really got dogged by LSU. Looked great in the first half, and then everything just unraveled. I like Michigan State winning this one in a close one, just based on momentum alone. I think that big loss in the SEC Championship game, I think it's just going to take the wind out of Georgia's sails, and I think Michigan State is just barely going to be able to take advantage of that. Now let's go on to the BCS Bowls. We're going to start by looking at the game that I was a little bit critical of earlier, but it is a BCS game, so we're going to have to look at it. We're going to look at the Sugar Bowl, number 13 Michigan versus number 17 Virginia Tech. I don't really see Virginia Tech getting over the absolute pounding that Clemson gave them in the ACC Championship. That game was as much a mental defeat as it was a physical defeat, and I see Denard Robinson in Michigan just putting up a lot of points on a very uncharacteristically weak Virginia Tech defense, and I see Michigan winning this one fairly easy. And that's really all I have to say about that one. Now let's shift to the Rose Bowl. Let's go to California for number 9 Wisconsin taking on number 6 Oregon. All right, so we have Big Ten champion versus Pac-12 champion. I'm so excited to watch this game. If you like offense, this is going to be your kind of game. It's two very different kind of offenses, but both are capable of just scoring tons of points. You've got Oregon in that fast pace, just try to outrun and outgun the other team. And then you have Wisconsin, just a very balanced but powerful offense with quarterback Russell Wilson and also running back Monty Ball, who probably came very close to winning the Heisman and had the kind of season that merits that kind of laurels. I like the size of Wisconsin. I like the speed of Oregon. And I think I just like Wisconsin a little more. I think if Wisconsin got in a position where they were down some, I like quarterback Russell Wilson being able to get in the 2-minute drill and make it happen at the end of the game. And so I'm going to go with Wisconsin in a really high-scoring, entertaining game. Back over to Florida for the Orange Bowl in a really interesting matchup of number 14 Clemson and number 23 West Virginia. These teams are really hard to guess. You got the ACC champion and the Big East champion. On paper, Clemson should really get this one. But the way Clemson ended the season, barring their just absolute beatdown of Virginia Tech in the ACC championship, and kudos to them for that. Clemson was just falling apart at the end of the season, just getting blown out by NC State and South Carolina. The loss to Georgia Tech, a very, very narrow win over Wake Forest at home. I think it's going to be a lot closer than Clemson fans probably want it to be. I think Clemson's going to pull this one out. I think their offense will be a little more than West Virginia is capable of handling. And so I see Clemson winning this in a shootout. Back out west to the Fiesta Bowl. Really good matchup. Got number 4 Stanford and number 3 Oklahoma State. man, this is just a fantastic matchup. And really, honestly, I wish we could take this in the BCS Championship and make a playoff out of it. And that is another conversation for another day. And in fact, I'll bet we'll probably dedicate some time in another vlog to that. Listen, anyone who watches this knows I'm a big fan of Andrew Luck. I'm a big fan of what he does at Stanford. But if you watched Oklahoma State against Oklahoma, it wasn't fair. It was just an offense clicking on all cylinders and just blowing away a really good Oklahoma team. I like Brandon Whedon, the quarterback. Justin Blackman is, without a doubt, the best receiver in the country. I like Oklahoma State just overwhelming Stanford with its speed and athleticism, and I like Oklahoma State winning this one fairly comfortably. And so finally, we come to the big rematch for the BCS Championship. We have number 1 LSU and number 2 Alabama. Now this is an interesting game because it's a rerun. We've already seen it once. We saw it in Alabama, LSU winning in overtime, 9-6 in a baseball score. Nothing but field goals, no touchdowns. And I think that goes to prove more than how bad the offenses are. I think both offenses are very good. They prove that week in and week out, blowing teams out. It just proves how good these defenses are. Alabama, just with its size and its just steady, just pounding rush. And then LSU with its abilities just to make big plays. Man, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. Like the Honey Badger, he takes what he wants. Interceptions, punt returns, whatever he wants. Maybe the best pure athlete in college football. I look at both sides, and I just look at the way that LSU is able to take one small opening in a game, and just overwhelm a team. They were able to do that against Georgia, against Arkansas, against just about everybody. Once you give them that small opening, they always take advantage, and I think that's what's going to happen in this one. I think you're going to see more offense than just 9-6. But I think LSU is going to have that moment where they see their opening, they're going to take it. It's going to be some crazy play. It might be an interception return, fumble return, it may be a punt return by the Honey Badger. I don't know, but it's going to be something like that, and they're going to be able to put Alabama away in this one. I just don't see Alabama able to withhold the attack of LSU. And so I see LSU winning this one in it's still a low-scoring game, but I really think they're going to come up with a touchdown in this one. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I probably have another wrap-up show or two at the end of the year. We still need to name our contenders and pretenders of the year, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, Happy New Year. Wishing you all a very blessed 2012. And I will see y'all soon. Enjoy the games.